So we were told that he's going to move to Parliament and be a member of Parliament, but then he wasn't on the list. How do you explain that? And even before he made his own announcements, I remember there were already issues being raised around him not being on the list.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news. When it is trending enough to be brought here, please do understand that I'm not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who is also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of our super gorgeous country. So it's still about Floyd. So people want to hear about Floyd and MK and my boo. So we back here. We're gonna be here for quite some time until we know what's up, what is happening with Floyd. We are monitoring that story very well. As Nhlamulo Ndlela said, they are monitoring Floyd Shivambu's interviews. He's giving us the reasons why Floyd is not an MP now and why he was fired, as well as what I'm about to share with you is how Herman Mashaba is saying Floyd must accept that he's always going to be the Nechitenze of politics. Please, guys, let me know in the comment section because my day is sort of very occupied. So I'm unable to go and check what Nechitenze did, who is Nechitenze. I'm unable to do that. And he shared the second person as well. But I'm going to read that screenshot for you right at the end after you have watched these video clips. And I'm going to share with you FIKILE Mbalula saying certain things about Floyd having not built anything and how Floyd responded to enjoy. I'll be seeing you right at the end.
I want us to start off maybe because Floyd Shivambu has made some serious claims about you, about the MK party, and we'll get into that in a moment. But what is the status of Floyd Shivambu in the MK party right now? Is he still a member? Has he been expelled?
No, the gentleman in question is still a member. And nothing has changed pertaining to that. And we're having internal discussions and reviewing the situation.
So he's not going to be expelled by the organization? Well, let me ask it this way. What does your constitution say about someone who behaves in the manner that he's behaved, or someone who announces plans to form a new party? Does that not violate the MK party's constitution?
Well, look, there's been a number of transgressions on the constitution. By the way, the same constitution that was drafted by the person in question, Floyd Shivambu. And in many of the prescripts of the Constitution, it states, that, for instance, you are on probation for 24 months. You cannot form another political party. And there's a number of other things that point to some of those transgressions, including, by the way, one of those that led to, him being removed from his seat and redeployed elsewhere. So, yes, there have been transgressions in the Constitution. But what we're doing internally is that, we're not people in leadership that take rash decisions. We apply our minds. And we need to understand what is this thing that he's coming up with. I mean, he's a member of Umkhonto weSizwe. And to account, to a great extent, he has to account to us as the leaders of Umkhonto weSizwe. I mean, he's an ordinary member. He's wanted to go and set up this initiative. What is this initiative? If we're talking about Umkhonto weSizwe being the platform that ought to unify black people, what is this consultative process that he's undergoing? So we want to see what he's obviously going to say on Friday. We are tracking, his activities, his interviews, and we'll make a determination with the guidance of the leadership and the president.
Okay. So we were told that he's going to move to Parliament and be a member of Parliament, but then he wasn't on the list. How do you explain that? And even before he made his own announcements, I remember there were already issues being raised around him not being on the list.
Upon further review of when a person leaves office, you don't get access to certain documentation, and as part of that handover process, which he still has to thoroughly hand over. There were things that we picked up that we felt could be concerning for the party if he were to be sent to Parliament. As a law-abiding organization, as an organization that serves the people, that leads lawmakers in Parliament, we can't find ourselves in a situation where we have a member there that's not going to necessarily have the full interests of the party at heart. And that decision, remember, had to be taken very quickly, over and above the fact that he's obviously ongoing with his own consultation process, which that one we will come to a conclusion and an understanding as to what it is that he wants to do there, and then obviously make a determination.
What is it that you've picked up about Floyd Shivambu as the MK party? What was he doing so wrong to necessitate his removal as Secretary General and not be added on the list to Parliament?
Well, the first one pertains to the Constitution as you stated. He undertook an international trip without the approval of the president when he stated that it was the president that approved the trip. That was a total lie, and he confirms that. He's confirmed off the back of that presser when he gave him a platform to speak. And he stated that he effectively apologizes, and it was in effect a misreading of the situation. But the reality is we're dealing with a person here who misrepresented the facts, misrepresented the president, misrepresented the organization, and put the organization to disrepute. That's why the statement that was released by myself, you'd have noticed we waited the whole day before we could even release that statement. Because, as is the case right now, we apply our minds as leaders. We don't just take knee-jerk reactions with our fellow members and leaders. So only then, later on in the evening, and I'd had an extensive conversation, by the way, with the president, consulting on this. We then released a statement, and that statement was approved by everyone who's in the leadership. And that's what it is. We've never reversed our posture on that statement.
Yeah.
It still stays, and that's why it led to the result.
Where
Not least, Floyd Shivambu say the ANC Youth League is directionless. Mandela and whoever didn't know what they're doing, you don't know what you're doing. He's the only one that knows what's happening. How do you respond to those three?
No, Floyd doesn't have any record of giving direction to anything. So we just take that as, slanderous remarks coming from a failed politician. But we wish him luck in whatever that he wishes to achieve. The ANC has got a guiding document that is reviewed from time to time, including the current implications of the moment we are in, of the GNU, to shape up the direction at all material times. So we don't do things because we are in accidents. So Floyd is in accident, and that accident looks like is a huge accident that he has come across. So when you are in an accident, you've got to go and fix the car, or you might as well be affected mentally and otherwise, because the accident was not just a head-on collision, it was heavy. And we understand that he is in a heavy accident. It's unbelievable that you can be in a party less than a year and then you get chucked out from being promoted, to the highest position, and you craft constitutions and people then just leave you and then deal with you in that way. So it must be understood that when you are faced with an accident, it's a horrible experience. So that's what is going through.
And this is what Herman Mashaba said about Floyd. Floyd must stop being in denial and accept that God made him to be a Joel Nechidenze and James Self of politics. He can never be any more than that. Full stop. Guys, isn't any data like Floyd is out there trying. You can criticize his ways, but you cannot go and be talking about where he is going to end. We may never know. People evolve. The voters have evolved. The mindset of the voter has evolved. People have changed why they favor certain people. We have been made to be now the voters who treat politicians as celebrities. You choose the one you like. So if you turn Floyd into a celebrity, believe you me, people will not listen to the message that he's pushing. They'll vote for Floyd because they like Floyd. So you cannot be saying you know where Floyd is going to end. Maybe some politicians play their game. Who knows? Who am I to say anything? Please do share your views in the comment section. I'm looking forward to reading those if time allows me. But if it doesn't, I'm certainly going to react to show that I appreciate your participation in my channel. And this is Floyd responding to FIKILE Mbalula. He said, "You'll be fine, comrade SG, my boy Africa." Basically saying, I know your pain. It's going to get better with time. And with that, Floyd seems like he is certain about what he is doing, is confident in it. So anyway, guys, if you watched up to here, I'd like to say thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And the next time you bump into my videos, kindly watch my ads in full, as that support really goes a long way. To those who are already watching my ads in full, have yourself a super gorgeous day.